Parliament's Defence Portfolio Committee is in Gauteng today to assess the aftermath of the recent riots and looting. Members are expected to visit destroyed malls and troop camps across the province. Manqoba Mchunu joins us now for more details. Manqoba, thanks for your time. I see there are calls for a parliamentary inquiry.
Indeed, Clement, you recall that both the Joint Standing Committee on Defence as well as the Police Portfolio Committee were on the ground today to assess the extent of the damage. But not only that, also to look at the efficiency of the SANDF operations and the deployments that were announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa today. And of course, following that site inspection, following what they saw on the ground, the chairperson of the House, or the House chairperson of committees in the National Assembly, Cedric Frederick, saying that they will be calling for an in-depth inquiry for Parliament to look specifically at the police's handling of this particular matter. Of course, you recall, Clement, that there has been criticism as to how the police handled the unrest and the looting and vandalism that took place at some of the malls in the country. And of course, the criticism is that the police were really caught napping at a time when the country really needed them. But Frolic also admitting that from the reports and the briefings that they've received, one of the issues that have been raised is the fact that the police themselves were overstretched and that there was a lack of resources when it comes to manpower and human resources, which is what has led to the situation where we saw a slow reaction of police. But of course, he says that he will be in talk with the different chairpersons of the different committees, that is the Joint Standing Committees of Intelligence as well as Defence, as well as the Portfolio Committee itself, to actually recommend that a parliamentary inquiry be formally launched in Parliament. And of course, he says that he wants this matter to be investigated thoroughly by Parliament and to perhaps look further at what recommendations or how in future this could be avoided. But take a listen to what he had to say earlier on.
There's various versions that are rising in terms of what the police should have done, could have done, how soon the army could have been deployed and so forth. We don't want to add to that speculation and other theories that are out there. What is becoming evidently clear is that a parliamentary inquiry conducted by both houses jointly into the occurrences of the last week will have to be seriously considered. I've spoken to the relevant chairpersons of the committees, and they will consider it in their recommendations to the Speaker and also to the two houses. This inquiry is important so that we do not have repeat of the lapses that may have occurred and a whole variety of other issues that could have contributed to this. So from my point of view, I will strongly support the report from the committees that call for a full parliamentary inquiry into the events of the last week.
Manqoba, there are now calls for even ministers like Bheki Cele to account for the failures of our security apparatus.
Indeed, Clement. In fact, the Police Portfolio Committee chair saying that they will be holding those ministers accountable as well as members of the police themselves, the top brass of the police, to come and account to Parliament exactly what went wrong in terms of their deployment, in terms of their operations, because they say that, the fact that police were not able to respond adequately, that what it does is that it really, diminishes the public's faith in the police and the way in which they respond to this particular scene. So she says that she will be calling on those ministers to come to account not only for the police's handling of this particular situation, but also for the conflicting messages that we've been hearing from the ministers as well as the president when it comes to this being insurrection as well, or a coup possibly, but also on the issue of whether there was enough intelligence or whether police also did use the intelligence that was provided to try and deal with these issues. Those are some of the issues that she says the ministers will have to answer to when they do appear before the Portfolio Committee. But take a listen to what she had to say.
We have to get to the bottom of what happened. The Portfolio Committee will be requesting answers. We will not leave this. People will be held accountable. This is not a matter of something happened, we can leave it there. What if we have another threat? So the Police Portfolio Committee will do its work, will call the executive to account, will call the police to account, and they must explain what happened.